What is going on, y'all? We are back with another cold email spotlight interview with the man Daavi. He has a very unique offer and he's gotten a ton of success from our cold email campaigns together. So I wanted to bring him on to the YouTube channel today to go over with you guys what he's accomplished from cold email and kind of some of the results he's got, clients he signed, MRR numbers, and talk about how he actually got those results. What's up, bro?
Fuck yeah. Great to be here, Christian. Nice to see everyone. Huge fan of CA. You guys probably know me from TikTok, school games, etc. But this is more of the family business selling physician coaching.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I didn't even put two and two together for the longest time that you were a placement client, and obviously your TikTok and your Twitter presence is awesome. But let's dive into what exactly the family business is. If you want to give the listeners a background into, why you came to us for cold email, what the business actually offers, and we'll get into some of the results in a minute.
Definitely. So we help burned out physicians. So it's a physician coaching offer. My mom is kind of the head coach. We have a team of coaches that work under her. Very, very specialized. So in this country right now, just to kind of quantify the problem, 49% of doctors are burned out. So a lot of physicians work long hours. They get very stressed. They see patient after patient after patient. And then when they get home, they have documentation to do. And they fucking hate their lives and want to quit medicine. That's the problem in a nutshell. They worked really, really hard to get there. And you think about like the average money Twitter guy who did a year of corporate sales and was like, this sucks. I'm going to make myself rich. Like they spent 15 years, college, med school, fellowship, residency. Like it was just insane amounts of delayed gratification. And they hate their lives and we fix things. And so the offer is really good. We have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. We just didn't have enough eyeballs on our stuff in the slightest.
Yeah.
And so we were at probably 30, 40, maybe 50K a month, just didn't have enough traffic on the offer. And so heard about the CA offer. The guarantee was way too good to be true. It was pretty inexpensive and it just made a ton of sense. So we got someone placed in our business. We did scripts. We did different kinds of doctors, surgeons, CMOs, regular physicians, etc. Threw a ton of paint at the wall. Last month, we did 46K from cold email, which is sick and is more than we were doing a month prior. And I think average over the last 5 or 6 months, probably 25 grand. And it's peaking up and now we're starting to dial. So I wouldn't be surprised if we started doing 50 or 60 or even more than that. So it's been revolutionary for our business.
That's amazing. And like you said, very niche specific offer where you're helping physicians with like mindset coaching. So do you want to kind of run through what the strategy that we worked on together was to get physicians to raise their hand and say, oh yes, I want mindset coaching? Because as we know, like a lot of cold email success comes from quantifiable numbers, guarantees, clients, like sales calls. But for this, it's a very emotional, like non-quantifiable sale. So if you just want to run through some of the strategies that you guys have used to get those results.
Yeah. I mean, we sent a lot of emails.
Yeah.
We used a good sales asset as a lead magnet. And then once we got a yes, we'd follow up and then we set people up with a drip. So anyone who responded positively would then get hit with a case study twice a week and just get a whole bunch of social proof chucked at them. A little bit of guarantee, but mostly it was just like a short, concise, well-written email about their pain points, asking them if they want to see a video explaining it, and then getting them on a sales call and closing them.
Okay, so let's talk about the video pitch there because I harp on it time and time again. Pitch a video, give some free value up front. It's going to convert way better. I get pushback from a lot of people, but coming from you who's been crushing it, like what has that video done for your cold email process? Has it, in terms of the replies, like are the sales calls a lot more qualified? Like walk me through the role of that video in your process.
If they watch it, then they're more qualified, et cetera. I mean, it's a lower barrier of entry in my mind to get them to raise their hand. Like when we just pitched calls, we didn't get a ton of people nibbling.
Right.
The flip side, there was a lot of people would say they want the video and then it would take them forever to respond or they wouldn't respond after that, et cetera. So I don't even think the video was the perfect lead magnet or strategy for this offer as much as just it got people engaged and got people raising their hand. And then if they did watch it, it was like, okay, this is a real human being who actually knows how to help people. And they're more inclined to want to pay.
100%. And then you touched on in the beginning, just the volume aspect side of things. Like, give me a ballpark on how many prospects you're contacting a month, and then what that looks like on how many calls you're booking, how many deals you're closing.
12,000 leads at the top of the funnel, book
Yeah.
10 calls a month, and then close 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's solid. I mean, a lot of people will, the biggest mistake I see with cold emails, people will try to just squeeze more out of the volume they're doing. Like, how do I optimize these 1,000 leads a month? It's like, at a certain point, you're not going to be able to book more than 10 calls a month with this volume. Just double the volume and you'll get better results. So for you, is 12,000 leads to convert 4 deals a great metric? Yes. But if you boil it down, it's like you're only getting 10 calls, which is not great on paper, but you're closing 4 of them. And if you get 40 something K MRR from a few $1,000s in investment to run the campaigns, it's a no brainer. But a lot of people
No
just
brainer.
kind of back off. Like, I don't want to send that much volume and, spend that much money and go through my whole total addressable market. Like, that's not good, but obviously it works.
Yeah.
And then, do you have any strategy in place for like re-engagement where, let's say, someone doesn't answer you? There's like obviously tens of thousands of prospects that have never responded to you. Are you guys recycling those leads at all, or what does that look like?
We haven't started doing it yet. We probably will for some of the specialties like surgeons and CMOs where there's not an infinite amount.
Yeah.
But one thing we're starting to do is buy phone numbers through ListKit. And that
Okay.
is a huge opportunity because there might be, 11,990 that didn't book a call. But then there's like 40
Yeah.
that positively replied and said, yeah, my life sucks. Please
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
me out. But then didn't actually book the call. And those are the people that we really want to get a setter dialing. And if we can book half
Yep.
of them, we're going to make a
So
ton
those
of
are
money.
going to be calls out to people who respond but then don't follow through. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. That's solid, man. And then let's just talk about like iterations and testing because you said the video pitch didn't come into play at first, but that's what you guys kind of landed on. Like, how many iterations would you say you've tested out in terms of openers, pain points? Because I know your scripts focus a lot on like the experience that you guys have with some Harvard certification or background.
Yeah.
So I just want to like learn more about what you guys have done on the testing side.
Yeah, we've A/B tested a lot of different things. I mean, like on the very tactical level, we would do first name or doctor last name, and
Yeah.
doctor last name worked
Mm.
better.
Yeah.
On the surgeon side of things, we did a couple different pain points. With chief medical officers, we split test coaching them versus coaching for the physicians that work under them.
Hmm.
And honestly, like it's hard to take the data from a cold email campaign and then iterate on it because there's all kinds of little things. We have 4 different target audiences going at once. It's one channel for the business and there's other channels too. So like, I don't think I've been as much of a scientist as I could be with
Yeah.
this, but I think the like slight tweaks here and there, and then just sending a fuck ton of it.
Yep. Once
Yeah.
again, volume negates luck and strategy and all this stuff. If you just send enough volume, shoot enough shots, they're going to go through. Talk about like what do you plan to do with cold email moving forward? Just keep scaling it up and hit the entire market of primary care and physicians in the United States, or like what's the plan moving forward?
I mean, there are a million doctors in the US. So if we are cold emailing doctor, independent of surgeon, independent of chief
Yeah,
medical
yeah,
officer, and we can get that campaign to rip, only 1 or 2 of the prospects that we've closed has just been a regular frontline physician. We close a
yeah.
lot of surgeons and a lot of chief medical officers.
The biggest thing that a lot of people miss with their cold email campaigns
Yeah.
is the surrounding content and personal branding around it. Like, oh, let me run a campaign with no website, no VSL, no social medias. It's just not going to work like that. And you have a pretty unique skill set with TikTok and getting organic views. So do you guys have any plans to kind of merge the two and build up that organic presence and grow on social so that people can go from a cold email campaign to your Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and find you?
Yeah. Fire question. If you Google Gail Gazelle today, you're going to see a whole bunch of fucking social proof. And I would
Nice.
say if you're going to be running a cold email campaign, you want to have at least something positive about you on the internet. And if
Hmm.
you don't already have it, then like you said, you need to have a landing page and a VSL and put it right in their face. Content, yes, probably on the roadmap for this business. But like my mom has so many podcasts and stuff on our website, et cetera, that if they're at all intrigued or they want a physician coach, we're going to be the top of the market. It's just the
Nice.
question of, are they ready to buy?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
And that was
I
kind of
love
a question I had for you. And maybe this is part of the podcast. Maybe this is offline, but if a doctor hates their life, but they're not yet sold on the mechanism that a coach can actually help them. So in other words, they think the system is broken.
Yeah.
What would a coach for me do about that? How do we close them on the mechanism and close them on us?
Mm. Yeah, I think, dude, I think that's where you guys should get into like low ticket products and stuff like that. This is kind of off on a tangent, but aside from cold email, just get people in that funnel. Like with Client Ascension right now, we're doing a lot of low ticket stuff where you pay us $19 for a mini course, and then you get our mini course. You go to our YouTube, you see our content, you get hit with our ads, and like it might take 6 months, it might take 8 months, but eventually that person's going to come all the way through the funnel and want to work with
Mm.
us, right? Because they've just seen our content for so long. They're like, all right, these guys know what they're talking about. This is worth my time. At first I was skeptical, but now I'm all the way bought in. I saw this really good podcast with them. Let me do it. Right. So for you guys, that could be like maybe once they respond positively, you just enroll them into an email newsletter that you hit them with once a week. Or on the cold email side, you could just hit them with a bunch of daily emails and stuff like that. But then I think eventually you should get to a point where, you guys have like some sort of ad strategy where you're collecting opt-ins.
And
And
nurture.
yeah, 100%.
Bet. And in that nurture, what would you do to basically get them to believe that even though the system is completely broken, they have some
Yep.
power over this?
Dude, I think the email list is the biggest thing. Like not a cold email campaign, but like the warm email newsletter, and just
Yeah.
have like daily content on success interviews with doctors who overcame the broken system. Studies on how the system's broken. Like appeal to a doctor's mind. I would imagine doctors are
Logical.
very open to reason and logic. So if you hit them with daily emails and case study interviews and retargeting ads and all this stuff, like I think, dude, like we'll get people that are like, I've been on your email list for 6 months and you finally sent the one email campaign that spoke to my exact situation. And that's why I signed up.
Mm.
So for you guys, with the volume you're sending, like every positive opt-in should get dripped onto your email list and you just have like a daily newsletter once a day, right? Because otherwise those leads just go stale and they forget about you. But if you can get them into your funnel and just kind of like keep them in your flywheel of stuff, that's how you're going to win the business. And that's pretty much Client Ascension's entire business model that we're attacking right now is
Mm.
get a bunch of top of funnel leads, get them in our retargeting, get them in our email list, get them in our low ticket products. And then it's like, oh, these guys do great work. Let me go into their Client Ascension program, right?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Got to talk more about the Client Ascension master plan.
That's the plan, bro. But yeah, I mean, you guys are absolutely bodying it with cold email. The results speak for themselves and you're doing a hell of a job. So any last minute, for anyone watching, like what would your one piece of advice be with cold email?
I would say that there's like a million variables to test with cold email. And so
Hmm.
you want to keep it as simple as possible and also just keep trying with the idea that if you're emailing the people that need your service, you can create some kind of bridge between those things. It may take more emails than you think. It may take some kind of creative Trojan horse or loom or lead magnet, or you might have to call them a couple times. But at the end of the day, there are doctors out there that are burned out and we know we can help them. And whether you're doing construction or you're helping teachers build side hustles, whatever your offer is, if you have the right list, which you can get on ListKit, then it's
Yep.
just how long are you willing to wait and iterate and test and send more emails and try this and try that. And as long as you do that, then cold email will work. And the CA setup was goated. Like the guy that was placed in our business has been there for the last 7 months, is an absolute killer, trained super well. The SOPs were great. Copy coaching was great. I think CB was even in our Slack chiming in, which was dope.
Hmm.
So I'm a super thrilled, happy customer and really appreciated the placement.
Yep. Appreciate you, man. And Owen's a legend. But yeah, guys, that about wraps it. If you want to learn more about our setup offer, because our placement offer has merged over into our setup offer, a little bit different, but we still help you one on one with your cold email campaigns, click the link below. If you want more information on Client Ascension, click the link below as well. And if you want more information on Daavi and his business, click the third link below because there's more information on him in the description of this video. Thank you for coming on, my man. You guys are absolutely crushing it and grateful to work together.
Fuck yeah, dude. Peace.
Thanks.